doch jetzt.
Ja.
Hä? Oh, hallo.
Warum ist denn
Hast
der
du irgendwas
Dings
im
nicht
Studio
an?
geändert?
Nein.
In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. Oh. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. Oh, with Solana ID you were in control. From the blockchain to the web we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID you are in control. From the blockchain to the web we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID as your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. Oh. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. Oh. With Solana ID you were in control. From the blockchain to the web we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID you are in control. From the blockchain to the web we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID as your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. Oh. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. Oh. With Solana ID you were in control. From the blockchain to the web we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID your reputation grows. Let's go once more. With Solana ID you are in control. From the blockchain to the web we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID as your reputation grows. In a world where trust is hard to find, Solana ID brings you peace of mind. Your digital life secure and free, a place where privacy meets integrity. Oh. In a world where shadows used to reign, Solana ID brings clarity again. You know your digital self in control, the privacy that you were on a roll. Oh. With Solana ID you were in control. From the blockchain to the web we know. No more secret, no more lies. With your soul ID your reputation grows. Let's go once more. expectation grow.
Hello. Welcome and GM everyone to Solid Talk number 89. Welcome, Soldians, to yet another solid yapping of the week. We got a packed agenda for you, ladies and gents, and everyone in between prepared today. We are gonna have a little chit chat between me and my co-founder. We are gonna dive deep into macro news as we always do, so you guys, don't feel like you're lost on the timeline and you might have missed some of the important news. Maybe you don't know why we pumped. Maybe you don't know why we're dumped. Right now, the chart is pretty volatile, and I'm going to tell you exactly why I think that is the case. We're going to talk about what is hot on Solami, the chain that just keeps shipping, ladies and gents. The chain that keeps shipping in the midst of the bear. It feels like we're in the bull, at least on my timeline. We're going to talk a little bit about what's new on Solana. There's a lot of stuff that happened this week, including Alpenglow updates, including a Perps handle that got bought from Solana main, and Perps just exploded as well. New all-time highs everywhere. There's some Clarity Act news. So we're just going to, we double tap on everything a little bit. And obviously, we're going to talk about some solid company updates. We're going to talk about what has happened at Solana in the past week. And we discuss some future directions for the company in a loose discussion between my co-founder and myself. And you guys can just tune in and listen to our thoughts. And of course, we're going to take a look at the charts as well, because that's what we do. We have to check out Solami and we have to check out what it's doing. And I'm going to tell you as well my thesis for the next trading session. If you are here with us, then drop a GM in the comment section and tell us hello, because I already did. Hello, everyone. And I'm also joined by Pierre, of course. Welcome, Pierre, to Solid Talk number 89. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. We got Alden already dropping the GMs. GM Alden. We got JD Sol on top of my comments here. Welcome, JD. An historic moment in time, never seen before on a Solid Talk. One of the first comments I'm putting up is from JD. Big shout outs to JD, the legend. PR1964 is with us. GM, my friend, and Lister Leon tuned in as well. GM. Cyber, of course, is here as well. GM, brother. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for fighting for the Solidian army relentlessly. This man's he just never sleeps. He shows up, whatever happens. So, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. And yeah, we got quite some stuff to discuss today. But before that, let's tune down the energy a little bit. Get settled. Grab your favorite beverage of choice, if it's a coffee or a tea, or prepare your food, lean back and enjoy the yapping. Pierre, welcome to the show. You okay, my friend? You good?
I am doing fantastic.
Fantastic. How was your day today? It is Saturday evening in Manila, Philippines. The sun is already gone. It is dark outside. Did you have a good day?
Actually, I was not that bad, to be honest, because, and that's one of the very, let's say it like this. Let's frame it different. Usually, you never hear me saying, "Oh, it's raining, amazing, I love it." I hate rain. I don't like rain, especially here, because
you don't like a lot of things. You don't like something, you say it. Yeah, everything is shit sometimes.
The rain. I hate it. But then I have been struggling actually the past few days with the air. Like the pollution right now is, oh my God, it's crazy here in Manila. I should have known before, but I didn't know it would be that bad, because usually Metro Manila is very densely populated, right? There's a lot of people. I think the whole Metro Manila area is around 20 million people or even more. So it's one of the most densely populated areas or cities in the world, actually. And around the Metro Manila area, the air quality is really bad. But then here in BGC and Makati, it's usually okay. Like you can live here. But then, I don't know, since 2 months or even more, it hasn't rained at all. And it's just like hot every day. So that if you go outside, you feel suffocated. You feel like you can't actually breathe. And then, as you know, I am very sensitive. I have dust allergy and whatever. So I always don't feel so good going outside, right? But then today, it rained. and I went outside, and
the air was fresh.
it felt so good. Like the air was so nice for half an hour, and then the rain was gone, and everything was like before. But at least there was this one moment.
Awesome, great day.
Yeah, and I appreciated that a lot. So yeah, I didn't do a lot. I just went to the gym. I had a coffee. I was breathing some fresh air outside, and I was working a little bit, and that's it. It's my Saturday so far. Oh,
nice.
What about you? What did you
Sounds
do?
good.
I mean, it's 6 hours early, 5 hours earlier for you. So it's like afternoon.
It's the middle of the day for me. And yeah, I mean, Pierre and myself were like yin and yang. I'm terminally positive, and Pierre's just like, I don't like shit. Food doesn't taste good today. It's too expensive. The weather's shit as well. So Pierre likes to do that sometimes, but he's fine. That's just the way we are. But then together we're yin and yang. We like, I sometimes need to be dialed down a little bit and put my feet back on the ground of reality, and this guy sometimes needs to be lifted up, from the bottom of the reality to the actual ground of the reality. And this way it's a nice symbiosis that works both in business and in personal life. And I only have good days, right? Like for me, it's like, yeah, whatever. Like if something bad happened, then it's part of the game. But I only have good days. So today was a good day, and had a good gym session, trained my arms, had a good pump, had a great breakfast, ate my 1000 eggs with bacon, and drank my 5 liters of protein smoothie. And then I headed into office and started to clear my backlog of Telegram messages that just day after day keeps expanding. Whenever I open my Telegram, I have to log in for a moment and get back to everyone. And then I started to prep for Solid Talk number 89, put together an agenda, researched a few things that we want to talk about so that you guys, get some high quality content and not some nonsense yapping only. Maybe 50-50. I think that's fair for Solid Talk. So yeah, definitely a good day as well. And that is a good segue as well into the backstage of the lives of founders. And I think that's always been a core element of Solid Talks. We're like brutally honest, and we always just take the community with us on our journey, right, Pierre?
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you, so whenever you're ready.
Okay, just keep your hand up then. So we're you go ahead, bro. Talk whatever you want to say.
No, I don't want to interrupt you. I just don't. Sometimes you keep rumbling and rumbling and rumbling, and then the moment where I can add something is gone, and then it's weird.
Because I said it already. Yeah. I mean, it's already weird right now.
We are like 10 minutes later. I don't. Sometimes I don't know where can I stop you without being rude, because I don't want to be rude.
You've just been rude. Go ahead. What do you want?
No, I was raising my hand.
Go ahead. What the fuck do you want? Talk now. You don't talk now.
I wanted to say there was actually another highlight of my day today. It sounds very ridiculous, but a couple of days ago we found this nice shop around the corner. They sell. It's called One World Daily. It's a really nice place. They have really good meat quality there, steaks and chicken and fish and whatever, like really good, but for a fair price, not overpriced. It's like really good, much better than what you can get in the supermarket. And the cool thing there is you can go there, you can choose some of the steaks that you like, and then you can let them directly cook it for you in the supermarket. Basically, it's really cool. And I haven't done this because I wanted to do it at home myself, so I was doing the steaks today. And I think, when was the last time that I cooked? Probably 7 months ago, almost like a year. I don't know, because usually it's my fiance who's cooking, but today I took a lot of time preparing the steaks and then making
almost meditative.
Chef's kiss. They were so good, and I was so proud of myself because I still know how to make good steaks, because that was one of my specialties. I don't know if you remember, but I was running a fucking hotel kitchen for a year. I was a chef.
Nobody knows. I know.
Before.
Yeah.
So, but steaks were one of my specialties. And today I remembered that I can still do some really good, amazing steaks.
Our life's so random. We did so much crazy stuff, and now we're here.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for interrupting me to do this valuable contribution to the to the Solid Talk. Appreciate it. I got a few more GMs dropping into the chat here. GM Altessa, yapping is good stuff. That is very true. And yes, JD, you should play the lottery because today's your day, my friend. And then on top of everything, Som's account is back, guys. I don't know what issues you had, but it's good to see that they are cleared. And also, what a feeling to finally be able to join Solid Talks for my official account. What was the what happened, Som? Like, what was the unofficial account? I don't even explain.
Wait a second. Why does Som's PFP low-key looks like an AI version of me?
Okay, so explain yourself. What are you doing? Jack Lenan, GM as well. Thanks for tuning into Solid Talks. And yeah, we're going to talk today towards the middle end of the stream. We're going to talk a little bit about Solana ID going forward and strategy and just some loose thoughts. Okay, nothing in. Usually, 80% of what we do in Solid Talk is us talking about ongoing topics that are not resolved yet. Anything that you see that is like announcement ready and so on gets a quick highlight here, but you'll see it on the timeline first, right? So this is literally the inner chamber of what happens in the kitchen and what we're cooking.
But to be fair, Simon, there were also not a lot of official announcements the past few weeks. So
true, and that is all part of the broader topic here, really, because the one of the bullet points on my agenda that I put there loosely is embracing the struggles of the founder life, because we have a lot of conversations between the two of us here about these things, and a lot of it is private as well, right? You don't need to know everything about our private life, but we are fairly transparent, probably much more transparent than most other founders that in the whole startup world, really, because we literally come here every single week and talk about our feelings with the community, right? So that is fairly open, and it's ups and downs. You get every fucking detail if you want it or not. But yeah, long story short, it is difficult, right? It is difficult. Like, we launched the token 1.5 years ago. It's been a journey. Like, there was ups and downs, mostly downs, unfortunately, with the token. And we kept, we spent so much time thinking about what is happening and how do we make this more successful. But it all comes down to the actual company itself. It comes down to Solana ID, and it comes down to our vision of Solana ID and what we want to build with it, and the things that we enjoy as team, and the things that we believe in as team. And in the past, let's say, half a year, I would say, with the beginning of Q4 2025 going into 2026, we had a lot of conversations about, what's the strategy, what's the direction, and the direction hasn't been as clear as it should be, and that is the brutal, honest truth for the company, for Solana ID. We obviously keep showing up. You see us in the Solid Talks, and we keep doing stuff. You see some announcements here and there, some perks come left and right, but it's not at a rate where I'm like, okay, this is it. This is going to be the multi-million empire. We need to constantly. It's a floating startup. It's a floating state, right? So you constantly need to take a step back, reassess, think about your fucking life, and think about what do I do in the next half year, right? And Pierre asked himself that question, and I hope I can talk about this a little bit. Otherwise, interrupt me as you do rudely. But he asked himself the question, like, where am I going with my life, really, right? Like, what are we doing here? Where's this going to lead to, right? In the next foreseeable future. Are you still there, Pierre? I see a frozen Pierre right now. I just want to make sure that I'm still online.
Am I back?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're back. Sorry. Yeah, I was just checking if you hear me. But yeah, so, and that's a great question to ask, right? Did you hear what I just said, Pierre?
Can you repeat it?
Okay, I talked about your private life. I said that you asked yourself the question, where's this leading? Where are we going? Where am I going?
Yeah. I hear that. Sorry.
Like, we had these conversations between us as founders. And the bottom line is, we got to do something, right? We got to do something. We got to figure shit out. The brand is strong. Our relationships in the ecosystem are extremely strong. We bet on the right horse. Solana is, we shopped around for ecosystems before we went to Solana a lot, and then we doubled down on Solana, and that was a good choice, because one thing that we're very certain about is that Solana is the blockchain that is capturing most of the attention, TVLs, and talents, right? So that is you know, there's no discussion around that. But where does Solana ID fit in, and where do we fit in, and what do we build? And we're going to talk about this, like I said, at the end of the call when it comes to Solana ID strategy and where we're going. But I just wanted to share some of the in between, you know, between the lines, what is happening between the founders. And you, as I said, you constantly have to reassess things and think about where does this lead. And I think the most important thing we need right now is a purpose, really, right, and a clear direction. That's what we should spend our time with most of the time, to find the direction again and to double down on whatever makes us most excited. And that will inarguably create a pivot, right, essentially. Every time you have to switch gears as founders, you need to reinvent things, and you also need to let go of old things, right? And what we decided, what we don't want to do is give up. So that's good. But what we decided, what makes sense, is only a new direction. And this is the state we're in right now. This is, and you're going to learn more about this when we talk about company strategy later. When it comes to the actual direction, but we're spending a lot of brain energy on that topic. Besides the ongoing daily business, right? That we also need to be capable of getting over the hill. So yeah, but that's, you know, that's just me yapping out of the blue about, you know, what's happening and what's in our heads. But let's take a step back. We're at Solid Talk. We always start with zooming out and taking a look at first the world, and then the Solana world, and then the charts as well, and then we talk about Solana ID. So I think to keep the right order of things, that's what we shall do. But before we do, Comment Yourself Solid is something we shall do again in today's Solid Talk. So why not, if you are with us right now, if you're here for the first time, then Comment Yourself Solid means be in the comment section and talk to us. Because if you do, you might get a little bit of Solid as a win, because me and Pierre are going to pick a winner at the end of today's Solid Talk that has been active in the comment section. That's it. Very simple. No other requirements. You just need to yap with us in the comments, and we're going to see you, and we're going to pull you up, and we're going to talk about whatever you say. For example, Tom says, I've been joining from my burner all these while. I see. So his official account was not available, and now it is again. So that is, you know, good job, Tom. Happy you're back with your official identity. But like Tom, you know, participate in the chat, because we want to not only talk to ourselves here, we want to talk to everyone who's with us. So if you have questions, ask them. If you have concerns or comments, or if you want to, you know, insult us, then do that. If you want to give us props and comments, then do that. If you just want to say something funny, do that as well. Without further ado, let's dive into some of the things that are right now going on in the world. One headline that I want to zoom in here, literally zooming in here, is that, well, we saw a sharp pullback on the charts. We're going to look at that as well on the chart in a bit. But Solana dropped, Bitcoin dropped, and what happened? Why did that happen? Well, it was a packed fucking week. We're going to talk a little bit about inflation data and so on as well. But first of all, on Wednesday, Donald Trump met with a Chinese delegation in China at the Trump-Xi summit. Trump-Xi, I don't know, summit. For, well, the first time in a decade. That has been a historical, you know, event, really, because no president in the past decade has been doing an official presence in China to discuss business and politics together with Chinese leaders. And on Wednesday, Trump visited Beijing with a delegation from the USA, including a lot of the top CEOs, like you know, top tech companies, with obviously Elon Musk and all the people behind him, traveled over to China to talk business. And one of the most crucial questions, I think it was a broadly positive meeting, I would say, but one of the big issues that is not very positive is the Taiwan discussion. The Taiwan question is the most important issue in China-US relations. Xi said per state broadcast, if it is handled well, bilateral relations can remain generally stable. If mishandled, the two nations could collide or even come into conflict, pushing the entire China-US relationship into a highly perilous, whatever that means, situation. Perilous means nothing good, I'm sure. So that is I think, an ongoing dispute between the nations. Taiwan is supposed to be an independent state next to China, but China has been historically always trying to have their hand in Taiwanese politics and business, because Taiwan is just shipping one of the most precious assets in the whole world, which is chips, microchips. And Taiwan is supplying the whole world basically with microchips that are more in demand than ever before, because we are entering the agentic age, ladies and gents. If you haven't seen that yet, it is happening, and AI needs chips. So that is a crucial topic. And yeah, these comments, the whole discussion around the Taiwan conflict, really, United States has reaffirmed its clear and firm support for the island, okay, with the ministry calling Beijing the sole risk to regional peace and stability. Obviously, as always, the USA tries to put their hero hat on and be like, yeah, we want to bring peace and stability, but obviously they have underlying political and business reason to back Taiwan as well. So the comments rattled Asian equities and the broader crypto market. BTC traded at 79,200 in Asian hours Thursday, down 2.3%. So no severe drops here, right? There's no crisis or something, but we did see a drop, and especially Solana led to the drop, really, with a 5.6% drop to below $90. We're right now below 90, actually. And we're going to take a look as well at the chart in a moment. So yeah, that is just one of the highlights, I think, of the week, the whole Trump-China trip and the discussions around Taiwan, really. And besides that, we have another news coming in, and we talked about this the past 2 weeks already. Kevin Warsh wins Senate confirmation as the next Federal Reserve Chair. So the next Fed Chair is actually coming in right now, I think. Today, tomorrow is the official deadline. Kevin Warsh was confirmed Wednesday as the next Fed Chair. That was already softly confirmed in the past weeks. We knew it's going to happen. Trump has made no secret that he expects Warsh to lower rates after having lashed out repeatedly at outgoing Chair Jerome Powell. Powell and Trump are not in a love relationship. They kind of hate each other. Trump wants this and Powell wants that. Powell seems to be a good man, honestly. I think his views are well-intended always, while with Trump, I'm not so sure. So I don't know what's going to happen next, but Warsh has been a consistent critic of monetary policy, and last year in a CNBC interview called for regime change at the central bank, and that's the man now that is leading the Fed. So I think we'll see more volatility in the whole year going forward with the new Fed chair, and we don't know yet really what he will do, honestly. So this is definitely another historic moment, I would say. Powell will stay on the Fed. He has 2 years left in his term as governor. He said last month he will remain at least until an investigation into renovations at the Fed's headquarters is completed. The last time a Fed chair returned to the board was nearly 80 years ago. So yeah, that's what he's doing right now. So a lot of historic changes really happening in the US right now. But we really don't know if the rates really are going to be touched or not, because honestly, there has been a lot of inflation data coming in this week as well, which did not look good at all. So we talked about China, one reason why we saw a bit of volatility this past couple of days, but also this last week, the sell-off was compounded by back-to-back inflation surprises, with the US Consumer Price Index, the CPI, coming in at 3.8%, which is the hottest reading in almost 3 years. So fairly high inflation data, followed by a producer price index. So excluding consumer data, only producer data, PPI, which is usually even more important than CPI, 1.4% month over month. So that has been a shock a little bit, because I think the expectations were vastly lower than that. We can actually probably, can we see that? No, I can't go back here. But the expectations were definitely lower than CPI of 3.8. I think the expectations were like 3.5 or something. So higher inflation data means rate cuts more unlikely than before, because if you now start to cut rates, the risk is that inflation goes even higher once liquidity becomes cheaper and more money gets poured into the ecosystem or into the system. So it is a peculiar situation, I would say, for the Fed chair now, for Warsh, to decide what's next. Trump wants rate cuts, wants to boost the economy, but the economy says, I'm actually not feeling that great. So I think we'll see further volatility definitely this year, and price is going to keep moving. So talking about prices, let's close off this segment by taking a look at the chart as well. We'll keep it easy, and we're going to look only at Solana today. One thing that you can already see from my chart here, we're in the 4-hour view of the Solana chart, is that we are actually trading since February in this in this channel, really in this parallel channel. It is an upward trending channel with lower highs, but it is definitely excruciating because there's no outbreaks of the channel really since months now, and that is that's just the market is a bit exhausted, I would say, at this stage. But at this very moment, we saw a sharp pullback here from this week's highs, because the week started off quite good. Here on the 11th of May, on Monday, we reached $90, $98, almost $100 Solana, but we got rejected firmly at this red line that you see here, which indicates the last previous high, which was at the exact same position, right? So I already was watching that line. If you watch the last Solid Talks, you'll see that line as well, because I've been looking at it since a while, and I wasn't sure what this third wave here will do. So last week we've been here in this uptrend, right? And last week I told you guys, okay, this wave 3 could extend into this FIB extension target zone up here, which is the current resistance for Solana. And it pushed and reached the 100% extension, which is quite conservative for wave 3. Normally wave 3s extend much higher, and they can even reach the 1.618, which is the ideal target for wave 3. But this wave 3 is not playing out as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup, which I was expecting last week. If you take a look at my chart from last week, it was actually labeled differently. We had 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5 that I was watching. I deleted this from my chart now, as you have to do, because with new data, with new developments, you need to reset the chart and look at what is the truth right now. And the truth right now is that this third wave is still valid, but it's not playing out in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's playing out in an ABC structure. So that is a diagonal third wave to the upside, and the lower boundary of that B wave is really where we are right now. I think if we break through the channel to the downside, that would be an indication that I actually need to change the whole 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup here, because then the chances are significantly higher for a downturn. But at this very moment, things look like turnaround. Cautious, right? Not financial advice. Don't buy the token right now if you don't feel comfortable, because obviously this can also be a fake out, and then we could break down from here. It really depends on the next trading sessions. I expect us to see more development in the next 24 hours. Usually the Sunday US time close indicates a little bit what's going to happen on Monday. So if we see a recovery from here, then I think Monday could actually help us next week in the first half to do that climb to the upside and maybe reach that target for the wave 3, which ideally is around $100 or even higher, right? But then, last but not least, keep in mind another word of caution. Even if we do reach that new high here in this local trend, that is still an ABC structure, a broader ABC structure in this whole channel, which would mean that we still need to break down, because it is all in correction in a larger downtrend. So in the next months, and this now is a really zoomed out view, in the next months, it is very feasible, and this, by the way, also collides or is confirmed by historical time movements of Solana. I don't have a chart for this right now that I can show you, but I know from my research that Solana does usually top out in May, especially in midterm years. It finds a local high in May towards the end of the month, and then in June it does a sell-off. So that is very feasible, and it also aligns with my Elliott wave count here, because if we see another rally to the upside, this could be the May local high, and then from there it is very feasible to see another downtrend here. So important moment right now, I would say. That's where we are. A fairly important moment in time here, because we are at the extension of the B wave. You see the FIB levels. We are also very close to the boundary of the broader channel. Plus, even in the 4-hour chart, we are also quite oversold on the RSI. So the RSI down here indicates selling pressure or buying pressure. And the Monday high was oversold, and now the low is overbought. And you can see the last time we've been down here in such a deep pullback in the RSI on the 4-hour chart was in end of February. So it's been a while. And back then we've been down here. and after that sell-off, we did have a recovery as well, right? So in this range down here, we're not going to stay here. That's a fact, right? We're not going to stay here. We're going to go up again at some point. We need to recover, and that also aligns with my Elliott wave count. So as you see, you know, in technical analysis, it does make sense to look at a set of indicators and then use them together to confirm your view further and further. So that's how I'm at least looking at these charts. And yeah, I'm going to keep watching this closely to see if we're going to find support here and turn back up, which would be my primary scenario right now, unless we break down the channel. And that's it. That is it, ladies and gents. I think that is enough token talk and chart analysis here for today. So let me get back to the studio, stop my screen share, and return to see what's happening. Crypto Pasokos, solid. GM Crypto Pasokos, thanks for being here. Hector is late but solid. That is no problem. Always good to have you. Darius, my man, good to see you as well. Happy you are with us in Solid Talk. And Hector says, when? I don't really know when you asked that question. I guess we're talking about price go up. I don't know, bro. But this weekend could be the moment where we see some recovery, maybe by the end of tomorrow. But don't trade it, because I said so. Trade it if you want to. No financial advice. But yeah, it's a bit of a crazy time, isn't it? All this shit going on. This year is crazy, man. Midterm elections, China-US conflicts, Iran is still fucking closed. The Strait of Hormuz is still closed. Oil shortages, inflation rising through the roof. I don't even know what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. I guess they're still fighting. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. But if you feel the world is crumbling and coming to an end, let me tell you, it's not. Because if you zoom out, humanity always found a way to exceed expectations. I'm reading a book right now called The Rational Optimist. Amazing book, really cool, great book. Really dives deep into the history of humanity and closes with a statement that is very powerful. It closes with a statement of, hey, it's worth to be a rational optimist. The whole purpose of the book is basically to use facts to showcase that everything is actually good. And all these doomsday people that talk about everything's going to shit, they're all wrong. They're all wrong in the midterm because humanity has always found its way out. Does it mean only go up? Nope, not at all. It's going in cycles, right? So there can be major conflicts. There can be even decades of issues and conflicts in the world. So it can really stretch for a long time. But the next 50 years, we want to prosper, ladies and gents. We want to prosper. So that's just my take. So if you feel down, then take that book and give it a read. Darius is about to move the economy. I know China and US are cooking. China and US are going to move the economy. They're already moving, bro. This week has been already fairly moving. All right. How do you feel, Beer, about all this? Still positive? Confused?
Everything.
Everything at once.
It's a mixture of feelings. No, I usually don't care so much about all of that stuff. I'm happy when Solana goes up. I'm not happy when Solana goes down. I'm a simple man.
You're simple man. That's actually that's very. It's better to be simple in this day and age, because shit can get confusing here. But yeah, I think Solana this year is going to be choppy. I think we're going to see. Here's my thesis. I think we're going to see a recovery rally over the summer. We're going to see $100, $110, and so on, up and down. We're going to see another flush around September, October-ish. Again, no financial advice. That is just Simon's stupid predictions. We're going to see another flush where we might even see lower prices than $80, $70, maybe even $40 Solana, feasible. And we're going to scare everyone out. That's going to be the final stretch. And then the people that are left with money are going to be the ones that profit, because by the end of the year, we're going to start rallying, and 2027 is going to be a bull year. So obviously, I have no idea what other war Trump is starting and all that shit. But I think usually that doesn't matter, because I believe in the chart, and the chart tells me that right now. And the macroeconomy and the fundamentals this is the way I look at things. They're gonna pull with the trajectory of the chart. Asset charts are actually a great predictor for the future. But let's see.
You actually see that Trump launched a phone, the T1.
What?
Yeah, I only saw that today. I mean, it's already old. There's this company called Trump Mobile.
What
I saw it
question
because
is,
of
what does he not do? What does he not do? He has a fucking phone. He sells.
It looks so scammy. It looks like some weird Chinese dropship Android smartphone in a golden Trump American flag case. It looks so stupid.
That's amazing. What's it called?
Trump Mobile, the T1.
Trump. Even the name, like he just uses his name to. This is so stupid. I hate the landing pages that these guys are cooking. They always look so.
It looks so scammy. I swear.
Our 47 ban trumps the rest. No, okay.
And the first sentence is so misleading. It says, no contract, just $47 per month. So it's a contract.
With an asterisk. plan terms. Plan includes. Literally a plan. It's not a contract, it's a plan.
Yeah, okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, it's a plan for nationwide coverage, roadside assistance, telehealth access, and more. Just put it all in, bro. Just, you also get some Trump tokens if you get this plan.
Click on phones and check actually the T1.
T1. Oh, wow. Premium performance. Proud.
That looks like Trump designed it himself.
Just looks so stupid.
I want the phone to be golden, and I want an American flag on the back.
Why do they sell just normal Samsungs and Apple iPhones and shit? Because it's for the non-contract. I see. And then the T1 phone, you'll get it for only $500. Okay, it's pretty good. Yeah, this is very scary. This is just so
it doesn't look like a very trustworthy mobile tech company.
35,000 followers. Freedom to connect. Who made that bio? Delete those fucking, like, what is this? Anyway, yeah, this is history, ladies and gents. Historic moment that a president is doing all that shit. Like, he's actually the whole Trump business team. All that shit is not him, right? It's just like he just uses his brand, his trademark, Trump, to put it on fucking things and then sell that, right? That's the only thing. That's the only mode that works, right? He uses his distribution. His whole presidency is around that, and that is a great segue into this, because the Clarity Act, to bring us back to crypto, has been discussed since a long time right now, and it's supposed to give more clarity to digital assets in the USA under SEC rule. And well, first of all, positive, it cleared the Senate Banking Committee. What happens next? Despite strong progress, the bill still has a long way to go. So there's the TLDR. Shout out to Svetlana Flor for keeping us updated here. So the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act passed the Senate Banking Committee today in a 15-9 vote. This was literally this week, on the 14th of May, just 2 days ago, advancing the most significant piece of crypto legislation, the most significant piece of crypto legislation ever in history to reach the stage in Congress. So that is big. It took a massive step forward, says Simon Didich. At this point, one of the biggest crypto catalysts ever, increasingly feels like a matter of when, not if it gets passed. I think that is arguably true now. So what happens, or what happened? Elizabeth Warren led the Democratic opposition, because there is still, I mean, she's opposed to everything we do here at crypto since ever. But they have some points, right? And one point is the core demand that the bill include conflict of interest provisions targeting elected officials, Trump, profiting from crypto. So this is that's actually the single most important bit that this whole bill is still struggling with. Because obviously Democrats are like, look guys, we get it, crypto is great, digital assets are really useful, everyone is doing it now, all the big boys are on board, we get it, it's important, that's why we're working on this Clarity Act, but we can't make it even easier for conflict of interest political persons to profit from this bill and from crypto. This is a direct attack really to the Trump administration, because they've been fucking cooking crypto shit since day one, right? They not only launched the meme coin, the Trump coin. Nope, his wife just did the same shit as well. And then they also have the whole Trump Liberty finance team cooking constantly some bullshit that is all very scammy. And it's very simple, right? It's like, hey, there's an industry where we can make money. If we slap our own name on it and we connect the right people, we're going to make millions here. Let's do it. That's what Trump did. And it's a bit, very controversial. So without diving, it's not a Clarity Act call today, so we're not going to dive into the deep depths of the document and talk about what it's all about and so on. You can do your own research, just ask GPT. But as I said, there's like a few more things that need to be resolved here. So all eyes now turn to the Senate floor, through chances of the Clarity Act eventually passing are looking more favorable than ever. Polymarket says 70%, more than 70% chance of being passed into law before the end of the year. So I think it is fairly certain that it is going to happen, at least more than 70% certain that it's going to happen. And this could be a catalyst for crypto. It already is, right? Markets are forward-looking. So every progress on the Clarity Act immediately impacts the charts. And that was one of the reasons why we also pumped this week, because people were expecting that this happens this week, and it happened this week. Now, what also happened this week is moving on to the next item here, Alpenglow. Do you remember Alpenglow here? Does it ring any bells? The term?
Yeah, it does. I remember the word. Let me. Is it something like? Oh, fuck! What was the other thing again? Something with fire. Fire dancer.
Fire dancer is also that's a client.
Is it?
I mean, it's
similar.
It's in the same corner of the Solana tech stack, right? Because all this technology is deep infrastructure work. Fire Dancer is the second client that validators can run on besides Agave. Fire Dancer is from Jump Crypto. Agave is from, who built it? Ansa, I think, themselves. And we only used to have Agave as the main client, and that was kind of a centralization risk as well. And then Fire Dancer gave the opportunity to run validators more efficiently. Fire Dancer is already a thing, right? People are already running on Fire Dancer. But Alpenglow is not a thing yet, but it's making progress. But it's been talked about. I remember me talking about this a year ago, probably on podcasts and Solid Talks and so on. I think I was somewhere in the south of France when we had, there was 2025, and Ansa said, maybe it's going to happen until the end of the year. And that's basically what we're saying now again. Solana co-founder says Alpenglow could reach mainnet as soon as the next quarter. So that's already better than by the end of the year. So I think we're inching closer, because what happened this week is that Alpenglow went on testnet. It is a technology developed by the core developer of Solana technology, Ansa, and it helps validators to test right now the testnet, to test the transitioning from the current infrastructure, which is proof of history and Tower BFT system, to a faster architecture ahead of a potential mainnet rollout. The only thing that really matters here is not really the technicalities and all these fucking complicated terms. The only thing that matters is that this is IBRL technology. It's going to increase bandwidth and reduce latency. It's going to make Solana faster. It's going to make Solana extremely faster than it is right now. And it's going to help us to come to the next level of being able to serve global financial markets as an ecosystem. So I think Alpenglow is actually extremely important for the whole ecosystem. And the mainnet launch is going to be a big thing once this happens. And then validators need to make sure that they slowly roll over to basically switch from the old system into a new architecture that is intended to dramatically reduce finality times and improve network responsiveness. So that's IBRL, right? What else? Alpenglow proposes replacing major portions of that system with a redesigned framework centered around new components. In simple terms, let's see how simple they are. The new model aims to let validators communicate and confirm blocks faster and more efficiently, potentially cutting transaction finality from several seconds to near real-time speeds, ladies and gents. And then we are really competing with legacy financial rails and their latency in a decentralized system. which is Solana. There's other blockchains that might be even faster already now and shit, but no one uses them. So, and they're not decentralized at all. They're very centralized, and we see it every day with instances like, you know, Arbitrum, for example, is another L2 on Solana that is known to be competitive when it comes to latency and speed. But then also, I think there was a hack or something on Arbitrum, and then they just rolled back the blockchain to undo the hack, which obviously it's great because they got the money back from the hack. But what does it imply? It implies that they, at any moment, the team behind Arbitrum can just roll back the blockchain and change the things that should be finalized. It's a bit, you know, that's not why we're building on blockchains. The whole reason is to be immutable. So yeah, that's also why when someone on Solana gets hacked, we cannot get the money back because we just can't roll back. It is immutable, right? So it's always yin and yang as well. It has pros and cons. But yeah, Alpenglow making progress is net bullish for Solana. And let's see if we have some comments before I keep yapping here. Lol, there's Cyber. I need to be more reactive to I don't know what you guys are talking about now, because I've been just yapping now. I think they haven't even started chipping. The phone maybe.
Yeah. That's why that's how I found it, by the way, because there was a video from CoffeeZilla, and he said, I wanted to get scammed, but instead I got a T1. So I mean, he still didn't get the phone yet, but the thing is, he ordered it online, knowing that he might never get the money back or the phone. But then a couple of days ago, they actually announced at least how it looks like or something. I'm not super sure. So he says that he thinks that he maybe not be scammed, but he's also not super duper sure. So let's see if he ever receives the phone.
Bullish. But that's a great content piece for CoffeeZilla. It's like perfect content for him. He loves to uncover Trump bullshit, and which is great, by the way. It's good content.
Did you also see the video about Goliath Capital? Was it Goliath?
Yeah. Actually, I saw that. Yeah, I actually saw that. That was actually very funny. That was. This is If you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's a CoffeeZilla video, right? It was from him. Goliath Capital. He uncovered some scam that is crypto related, some Uniswap liquidity pool APY that they managed to sell to traditional investors, and they didn't really know what they're buying. They just bought 100% plus APY per month. There's already a big red flag, but it worked as long as new people kept investing. And based on that statement, you already know what the scheme is.
It's a scheme. And the funny thing is that this guy, the CEO, I think he's a Mexican, blonde Mexican guy. Nothing against Mexican. He's just Mexican, I think. And he was doing an interview, inviting a journalist into his house. And he said that he didn't talk to his lawyer before because he thinks he's doing the right thing for the PR stuff or whatever. And then everyone was already making fun of this. Like, that's the wet dream for the prosecutor. Like, good stuff when the person who is being charged decides to not talk to the lawyer and just does whatever he thinks is right. And then he invites this journalist into his house. And I think his strategy was to make people think that he's actually like a good guy deep down. You know, he's a good guy. And that's what he wanted to achieve. But then the journalist completely wasted him. Like, if you watch the documentary or the interview, the whole thing is they started with like, oh yeah, this is my 1 out of 2 Louis Vuitton billiard pool table. Then here's my Lamborghini. And then then they show because right now he's actually being prosecuted, right? So he's already locked up at home with how do you call these things, like these ankle wrists, ankle bands, so that they know where you are. And then the journalist was even like, and here's his ankle band next to his $1,000 Hermes slippers. So she was literally telling everyone, look at this guy. He's so fucking rich, and then they're sitting at the table, and then she's asking, "Yeah, okay, so so how did the whole thing work? Like, what did you do with the money?" "Yeah, it was actually pretty simple. We took the money from the new people, and then we gave it to the old people."
That's what he said.
Yeah, that's exactly what he says on the interview, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" They don't even need to go to court anymore. He can just straight to say, and then he's like, and then he says, and she's like, that's a Ponzi scheme, right? And then he's like, "Well, I think it's about the intentions, right? Because most people that run Ponzi schemes, they have the intention to do it from the beginning. But with Goliath, it was different. We really wanted to do something for the people. But then there was so much money coming in, and so much money, and I just went crazy and bought a Lamborghini or whatever." Like, okay, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah. It doesn't make anything better. It's the same thing, but he's like, "No, I'm better than the other guys who ever run a Ponzi scheme." It's ridiculous. So funny.
One of the craziest bits of that story, and then we're going to continue here with the talk, but one of the most craziest bit of the story was the fact that was uncovered by CoffeeZilla when he did some on-chain history, like research on where the money went, because it's supposed to be a liquidity pool scheme, right?
It never went in any liquidity pool.
It just went from people's bank accounts into Coinbase institutional, where you can on-ramp money to crypto, but that's how you usually do it. So you put it in Coinbase, and then from Coinbase you can send it to hot wallets, right, to deposit into Uniswap. So you need to make a transaction from Coinbase on Ethereum, to a wallet. And then he was trying to, to find that trace. He was trying to see, okay, Coinbase here, the money goes, where does, to which hot wallet does the money go? In which liquidity pools does it go? Where does the APY come from? And then the money went from Coinbase institutional to a wallet to payouts. There was no yield.
Some payouts were just made straight from the Coinbase account.
Okay, even worse. So it's just like money in, money out. So it's like, and it's on chain. It's like, how stupid can you be to not even think about hiding it?
Yeah,
that's what I thought. Like, at least try to make it like, this is so. It's too
but then
easy.
How does it work that this thing goes? I don't know how long he did it, but probably for a couple of years, because how much did he steal? I think like 300 or even 600 million or something.
A lot of money, yeah.
A lot of money, yeah.
It's a network effect. That's literally what he said in the interview as well, or in one of the interviews, where he said, like, it's one person invests, and then they talk with their friends, and then one of the friends is like, "Oh, I want that APY too." So it's just word of mouth, right? It's like, and it's private capital, so they make it super exclusive and limited, so that you feel like, "Oh, I'm in this thing and no one else gets in," right? That is the whole scheme. It needs to feel super private and exclusive, but you're just in an exclusive group of people that get rugged. So it is, I mean, honestly, we're making fun of the story, but at the same time, people's lives have been impacted. Right? I don't want to be one of these guys.
The thing is, sorry, but like, people's lives are miserable now, whatever.
They don't know better.
Sorry, but I think we are living in 2026. Everyone on this fucking planet, at least in the countries where all these people get scammed, they should have access to the internet. And before they put any money anywhere, they should at least do some research.
That's the problem. It's all based on trust.
Yeah, but it's so stupid because it's not the first Ponzi scheme. I really don't understand how can it be that we are in 2026 and this stupid, easy snowball money-making scheme still works. There's still people that manage to build a fucking company for a few months or years and steal a lot of money with that. I really don't get it. And then also, so many people are being caught nowadays. So why even risking doing it? You know what I mean? You have a nice life for maybe 1-2 years. You live in a crazy mansion. You have crazy cars, and then someone takes it from you. Is that worth it? No, I don't think so.
It is not. It is just silly. Anyway,
shout out to the legend Bernie Madoff, by the way. He's like the OG of Ponzi schemes.
Yep. Pyramid all over again. Oh, Snow Toshi, do you have a friend? Welcome to Solid Talk number 89. Ladies and gents, stay active in the chat because it's time to comment yourself solid. Little word from the sponsors. Now, obviously, we got to take a look, as we do every single week, at Solana news. Solami news. And we got a few things before we talk about stuff that is also related to Solana ID, more broader Solana ecosystem news. We talked already about Ansa launching new shit, like going on testnet with Alpenglow, but they also finally launched the P token standard. Has been an item that we've announced a few times already, but I think now it seems that it's actually launched an optimized rewrite of the SPL token program for Solana. Now it's on mainnet. Token instructions are about 96% cheaper in compute. So another IBRL improvement on Solana with P token standards. Doesn't really impact you a lot. I think you're not even going to recognize the difference in your tokens once they move to P token. Existing tokens can move to the P token standard, and newly launched tokens cannot just launch on the P token standard as well. Camino made some news regarding their Athena market because they crossed $100 million in USDE. I think I've seen a few posts on the timeline regarding this. Athena is a OG Ethereum Solana Ethereum ecosystem stablecoin project that has been already partnered with Jupiter for Jupiter Lend. And now they launched their own dedicated lending market on Jupiter, created by Bitwise. So a bunch of new money coming in through Athena to the Solana ecosystem because Solana is the everything chain. BZ, the leading RWA collectible platform on Base and Flow, is coming to Solana. Price. People are coming to Solana because Solana is the everything chain. And Meteora shipped some big news this week as well. Now we have DLMM quote token fees live on Meteora. You can now earn your fees fully in Sol or in USDC or any token that you choose instead of the two LP tokens. So if you provide liquidity to DLMM, historically you got both tokens as fees, right? USDC, Solana, USDC, and whatever, Pengu, whatever you put liquidity in. Now you can say, I want my fees only in one currency. For example, I want to get fees only in USDC, which is a cool feature. I think the Meteora LP army has been asking for this for a long time. And now Meteora has shipped it. I expect more and more stuff coming out of the Meteora ecosystem in the next weeks. I think the people are cooking from what I've heard. Phoenix made some noise as well in the timeline. They announced the launch of 24/7 commodities live on the Perps platform. Crude oil, gold, fully on chain. Cool, but also Flash Trade been doing this since half a year. So shout out to Flash for keep building at the frontier. By the way, Flash Trade also launched V2 beta of their whole trading stack, really. And with V2, you can now trade almost instantly on Flash Trade because you have a dedicated trading account where you deposit your USDC in. So it leaves your wallet, it goes into the trading account, and then you can trade without signing transactions. So you just click a button, trade open, click another button, trade close, click a button, short, stop loss set, and so on. So yeah, shout out to Flash, even though they're not on here. V2 has been launched in the past couple of weeks. Yuma, instant PST to USDC withdrawals on Solana, faster pay file liquidity and safer looping across Jupiter and Camino. Yuma keeps shipping as well. Fidgetals has some updates. Coinbase, Sol-backed loans, cool. You can borrow USDC against your Solana without selling. Good stuff, good for Solana. Gives Solana as a token more utility. We have a Korean one stablecoin now that is expanding to Solana. KRWQ. Horrible acronym, but sure. KRWQ Cash. The first Korean, or one of the biggest Korean stablecoins, I suppose, is now on Solana. Magic Eden made some announcements. They announced their 75 million to Dicey HQ. Interesting. An iGaming venture. Right? Arcium gave their website a new look. We have 2 new RTGs officially ended with RAXTG inside. Arcium has been talking about the RAXTG since a long time, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit in the small Solana ID news item as well that we have. Solstice announced their official TG date now. So shout out to Solstice. We got a date, 21st of May next week. It is time to take your yield back, ladies and gents. SLX is going to launch. And we might be helping you to get even more SLX with Solana ID as well in the next coming weeks, because we're also cooking something. We're going to talk about this as well in a second. And then last but not least, I think it's the last big item here that I want to talk about. It's perps. And I'm talking about the handle. How the fuck do they do it, Pierre? How does Vivo get these handles?
Just he bought it, no?
Yeah, but that's insane. I think he bought it from someone. I saw a tweet of people where he said some OG sold him the handle. But that's the only way, because otherwise, how the fuck do you get these handles? Because the handle marketplace on X is great, but also, yeah, you know, if you want a handle like this, you either wait for ages or you never get it. So you do have to have some connections, and Foundation obviously has. So they bought the perps handle, and obviously this indicates broader perps plans on Solana. It is perp seasons, ladies and gents. We have lots of great perp platforms on Solana already. And I think Phoenix is right now the one that makes the biggest waves, because they also are Solana Foundation related. There's a lot of discussions on this topic, by the way. A lot of fingers being pointed as well. This whole topic, by the way, kicked off this king making drama on the time that you saw the past week for like a day or two, where people were pointing fingers at Foundation for king make people, because they picked the winners and then they backed them, because they did back Phoenix, I think, with a lot of money. But you know, they have their reasons, bro. Like that's my opinion. If you make it into the Solana Foundation cluster and you manage to get them on your side, and you manage to get them give you money, and you manage to make them believe in you, you kind of deserve it, don't you? Right? And then if you're a project that didn't manage to get their backing, is it on them or on you? You know, like, so not going to open that that bucket here, the whole discussion. But yeah, perps is live now, and the whole perp season is now officially ongoing on Solana. Have you seen that drama about the king making and all that shit?
Yeah, I saw it, but I actually didn't completely understand it. I didn't understand what's going on. But usually, most of this drama is just bullshit, isn't it?
I mean, it's not bullshit, right? Because it is a very fair representation of what concerns people, right? So I think it's fair to, if something like this goes viral on the timeline, it goes viral for a reason, right? Because people have feelings and thoughts about these topics, and they feel like chipping in with their opinions, and then these tweets get exposure, and then you have
but camps. In this case, so if I understand it correctly, Phoenix is backed by Solana Foundation, or they get an investment by or whatever.
Yeah, there's some ties to it. I don't know the specifics, so I don't want to say something wrong here, but I'm pretty sure that.
Okay, let's say whatever, there is some sort of financial relationship, right? And why would you not support that
winning projects? Yeah, I don't know.
No, but so you put money in a project, right? Because you think, hey, the team is great, the tech is good, whatever, and then you have reach. You can help them to be successful because that's what you want. That's why you gave them money or you invested in them or whatever. Why would you not do it?
People just keep criticizing how Foundation does business, because people have opinions on what Foundation should be as an entity.
Yeah.
And some of these opinions collide with Foundation opinions, what they believe they should be. Foundation believes they should take sides. They should take, they should pick winners sometimes and back them and highlight them and showcase them, right? Now, if you have a city with, here's my city analogy. If you have a city with 1,000 shops, right, and you're the Bürgermeister, the guy who runs the city, then you can't knock on the door of all these 1,000 shops, right? It's just not feasible. You don't have time for that shit. So you need to somehow identify who are the shops that are actually helping my economy in the city to expand. Who are the shops that have the best people working in the shops, that offer the best products, and that manage to get attention on their shop by themselves already? And where can I now pick winners that are already doing okay, and then pour some gasoline on them? I mean, that's a bad analogy. You're not burning the shops, but you want to just enhance their business by helping them, right? You pick winners. I think you should do that as a governor of that city, and you shouldn't you back the ones that are losing because that's a losing strategy. You should try to find the ones that are winning and back them. A lot of people in the ecosystem, they want the foundation to be either completely neutral, like keep your hands off anything, like Ethereum Foundation, right? They're like in the back, but then also how well does that work for them? So that's one thing, right? And then other people say, okay, but then you need to do it fair and you need to also back my project. But then again, if your project sucks, they're not going to back you, right? I also wish they would, King make Solana ID every single day, right? And make us huge and make our token go up. But right now, we need to give them more reasons to do so, right? That's our job. That's our responsibility. You can't expect them to King make you if you're not King potential. So first step for you as a founder or a business or whatever, make yourself a King potential by doing the right things. And then still, it's not guaranteed that you get help, but then you can expect to be chosen. If you're not chosen, well, go cry in the corner. But these are just, again, strong opinions for me, loosely held as well. I'm happy to be convinced of the opposite. Now, let's do the NFT first because we're already over the full hour. So let's do participation NFT. Let's do Solid Talk NFT for Solid Talk number 89 first, and then let's talk about the last few Solana ID items, and then we can call it a day. Solid Talk number 89 is live, ladies and gents. It is the 16th of May, and this is your custom Solid Talk NFT that is basically yours. If you are listening right now, this is an NFT that has still one of the only NFTs on Solana that is still being used every single week as a token of appreciation and as a representation of your participation in the Solid Talk, right?
Talking about NFTs.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's so off topic. But what are like Tensor and OpenSea or what is the other one? Magic Eden. What are they doing these days?
So Magic Eden pivoted completely away from NFTs a long time ago.
Really?
They have their token. I mean, they still have NFTs on their platform, but they just acquired Dicey. We talked about this right now on the Solana Sensei news. They're leaning into, what is it? Betting, gambling. I don't even know what Dicey's doing, but it's like some betting platform or something. So they're just exploring other revenue streams and products really that are non-NFT related, because NFTs are just, there's just no market right now for them. NFTs are super niche. There's a few ones that have value, that will maintain value. The exclusive ones, the ones that have the brand, but you can't launch an NFT right now and expect hype around it. No one's doing that. So that's why they had to pivot away. Tensor got acquired by Coinbase, if I'm not mistaken.
But wasn't that the what was the trading app called?
Vector.
I think that was not really directly connected with Tensor, if I'm not mistaken. Was it?
True. Yeah. Coinbase acquired Vector.fun. That is true. Tensor Marketplace and Tensor Token transitioned to the Tensor Foundation, which will operate independently, oversee the protocol, blah, 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 without Coinbase affiliation. So what's Tensor doing nowadays? Because I actually don't know exactly. I mean, we could also just go on Tensor.com, I guess. Tensor is still operating independently. It's currently Solana's #1 NFT marketplace. So I guess they are one of the few ones that are still tinkering. Major token unlock participation. Tensor continues to offer pro-grade trading features, real-time execution. So they're still in the NFT game, as it seems, but they are quiet. They are quiet. Anyway, Solid Talk NFT. What are we doing?
Yeah, we're giving it out.
All right.
You want to have it?
I want to have it. What do I do?
You want to have it? Then, my friend, go to talk.solana. Actually, now that I'm saying it every week, super confident. Talk.solana.
Yeah, I do it. That's how I do it.
It works still?
Yeah. That's how
I great. Okay, then go to talk.solana because it still works, surprisingly. And search for the latest. No, it's right there. Solid Talk
Yep.
89. Yes, exactly. Or if you don't want to do that, you can scan the QR code. I cannot check if that actually still works, but it should, because I think it's just the same domain. And if you also don't want to do that, you can directly head to Zili and then search for the Solana ID community on Zili, and then join the quest board, and then search for the Solid Talks, and there you will see this lonely quest for today's proof of attendance. And all you have to do is, you want the magic code from me, right? That's what you want.
Yes.
The magic code is, you won't believe it.
Yes.
But it is.
Yes.
It is solid.
Yeah.
Oh.
Great.
Wow.
Quest completed. It worked. Okay, awesome. Perfect. Okay, ladies and gents, talk.already. Secret code solid. Past your public key, and then you will get today's Solid Talk NFT into your collection, ladies and gents. Secret code is solid. That is all you have to do. All you have to do. Okay, we did the NFT. That job is done. And I lost Pierre. That is okay. That happens sometimes. Oh, okay, you're back. So
never gone. Was I?
Okay. Already. Claim, says listener. Claim it. Talk to us already. Keyword is solid. Now, on different news, ladies and gents, we have the first seed bit auction on Solana. Shout out to crafts.dev did a mock race. So this is not an official token launch of anything. It is a mock race with mock USDC on DevNet to basically just highlight the platform, show people how it works, and make a little bit of attention on the timeline before their first launch, which will happen at the end of this month, Refi Hub. So, first of all, if you are a Solana ID holder, so if you ever minted the Solana ID NFT, then you actually have a little benefit logging into this platform. Because the Crafts team did whitelist our community. And this means that everyone who has been a Solana ID holder last week, whenever they did the snapshot, then you are on the whitelist. So the wallet that is associated with the Solana ID is going to be the wallet that you should use on the platform to basically take part in the race 0. And why this is good is because you are actually going to be directly in silver tier. You leveled up to silver. If you're a Solana ID holder, then you are in a silver tier, which will have a few perks around it. Some of the perks we don't know yet because they will be future perks of the Craft platform. So I think it's just good to have it, right? That is one thing. But there's another thing to keep in mind, which is that they are partners with Arcium. Arcium has these systems where they will retrospectively, the RTG system, where they will retrospectively check people that used Arcium technology with their wallet. And that might make you eligible for, I know you love it, a small airdrop from Arcium once they launch their token. So all I'm saying is, if you have a Solana ID, then why not make use of it? Go to the launch post here from CraftDev, head over to crafts.dev/race0, and then just take part in the mock race. All you have to do is basically you need to claim the mock USD into your wallet. Then you need to change your wallet settings into DevNet manually inside of your wallet in the settings, and then you will see the mock USD in your DevNet wallet. And then you can take part in this race 0, where they have like a few mock races. So these are not real projects. Eventos, Kinara Bio, or Basis Market. So these are all fantasy names. You can review their docs and so on just to feel the experience. Okay, so this is not real. Again, this is all a simulation, but it will showcase you how the platform works. You can then deposit your mock USDC, which I did. I took part in all the 3 races just for fun. You can see there's capital committed from the race already, from other people that took part in it. You'll be able to say the maximum company FTV that you accept. Since it's a sealed bid auction, you don't know the clearing price at the end. So you can try to undercut other people by saying, hey, I believe this project will not get the demand it needs to reach its maximum FTV expectations, which in this case is 17 mil for this first mock launch here. If you think that the race will clear at lower FTV because less demand, that's essentially how it works, then you will move that trigger to a lower area, and you say, okay, this is the price that I'm willing to pay, because if the FTV is going to be higher than that, you'll receive your tokens back and you'll not participate in the launch. So that's kind of the decision you need to make, participating in these crafts launches. And you can also say that you want to accept the clearing FTV at the end. And then you will just accept whatever it is. So if it's 20 mil, you're going to accept 20 mil. If it's 70 mil, you're going to accept 70 mil, right? So that's also a strategy that you can do. You can set that trigger to accept clearing FTV. And then that's how you play it. And that's pretty much it. So TLDR, Solana ID holders get silver tier in crafts that might unlock an Archeum airdrop and future perks at crafts. So might as well, and you have to participate in the mock launch for this to work though. So make sure you do that with your Solana ID wallet. And then we can anticipate the first ever race on crafts refi hub. They are trying to raise around, is it 500? Anyway, you can do your own research on them. They have a big data room with a lot of data about them. And then, no financial advice here, but if you want to take part in this. I think it's interesting technology. I like the craft team. And as you guys know, if you have followed the recent ideas around Solana ID, this is basically it. One of the strategic, so we had a strategy meeting this year with Solana ID, and we this past week, thinking about where do we go forward and what options do we have really. And without going too deep into things that are not yet finalized, our current thoughts are that we need to reposition the company. We need to ideally also have Solana ID as a sub-brand below a larger thing that is new, that feels new, that has a new direction for it, that is clearer than Solana ID. One of the biggest struggles we had with Solana ID is that we are trying to address at least 3 different audiences with one product, which makes it extremely difficult to market ourselves and to drill into people's minds what Solana ID really is, right? That is a huge problem. People need to know, okay, what is Jupiter? They're DEX. You can swap tokens over there. Okay. What is Solana ID? A lot of people we didn't manage to really break through the noise and make it very easy to understand what Solana ID is because of the 3 different audiences we're trying to target. We have businesses that we want to convince that Solana ID can help them to get users at a very good price level with data-driven marketing and wallet tracking and wallet analysis. We want to convince display partners, as you know, with the whole idea of the Solana display network that we started last year and then slowly scaled it down because of a big problem that we ran into. We couldn't convince people to really expand the display network with that pitch. And we tried to convince them that Solana ID is the layer for them to monetize their views and attention on their apps by display ads on their powered by Solana ID. The second pitch, second target audience. And then we have our users, all of you guys, the community. What are we for you? A perk machine. We're trying to give you rewards and benefits. It feels a bit like an NFT community that you belong to, right? But it's too much stuff. That is the TLDR really, and one of the big learnings we had. And that means we need a clear pitch for a clear company, and we want to consider doing this in a new shape, in a new form, right? And Solana ID becomes a sub-brand of this that does only one thing, ideally B2C, right? So those are some thoughts we have. And this way, if we structure it this way, then we can use the new thing to recapitalize and do an ICO on crafts without having anything finalized. This is the direction that we're exploring to really make a dent, get new attention on a new project, and then Solana ID benefits indirectly from that new setup as a sub-brand of the new thing. And it will also allow token holders to migrate into a new stronger token that has a better foundation, in brackets ownership coins, because they give actual ownership to the company below, and they're not just a meme coin without clear paths to value. There's a lot of things we should hash out still. There's a few concerns that I still have that I need to talk with Pierre about, but not here. We're gonna keep you guys updated on Solid Talks, but only if we have, some sound thoughts. So what you heard right now is the direction that we want to go in, and now every week we're going to keep you updated on progress on that front until we have the final decision and the final announcements and the rollout of the new strategy. All that yapping for one reason, which is to drill into your mind that we're continuing on our journey, on our quest. The Solid season continues, ladies and gents. That might be a good moment to end the stream. That's not a bad moment to end the stream. But before I do, I wanted to give a quick shout out to an idea that Pierre had, building campaigns in public. So he just did a few, like a little fun session on Twitter. Make sure that you watch Pierre's account, because once in a while he does that. And if you are tinkering on your computer, if you're scrolling the feed, if you're doing anything that allows you to have a second tab open with someone doing something, you can just join these spaces and watch Pierre use AI to do shit. That's essentially what happens. And in this little session here, Pierre was working on a landing page for the next thing that we are setting up right now, which is a Solstice partnership. You already know that. We told you guys at the beginning of last month or mid last month that Solstice is going to be doing things with Solana ID. And we are planning a larger campaign with them, with a dedicated landing page, and dedicated perks, and a raffle around it, and so on. And yeah, Pierre has been basically tinkering on that page here, and allowed you basically to watch him. And you built this purely with Claude Design, did you?
Yes. I mean, really cool. Yes and no, because I obviously used the Solana ID design system foundation, so it's not completely made up. But there's a lot of new elements and components because we didn't have stuff like this before. So yeah, I think
how's
if
your
you
experience
compare
with this? How's the experience with Claude Design for people who never worked with Claude Design yet? What's your take on the product after you've been using it now?
I have to say that when I first heard about it, I was like, I'm not sure if I'm ever going to use it because I can just do the same thing with Claude directly. But then I think the most the best part about it for me is, especially for building like landing pages and stuff, when you're used to work with Claude Code, it takes a while to do some iterations on the design, right? Because you have to like have one screen open and then you make screenshots and you send it into the chat with Claude Code and say, look at this and please change it this way. But here you can either just directly edit it yourself, which is super nice. So it's like an integrated landing page builder. But you can also, if you want to make like structural changes or change the complete section or add a new one, then you can just prompt it or add different elements or sections and say, look, this section, I want it this way. So this is really nice. The only thing that sucks a little bit is, first of all, the session limits. They are not good yet because literally on one day in one session, I used my whole weekly limit. So I have to wait until next. Oh, I think they reset it now. Okay, cool. That's cool. Actually, they reset it, but I used my whole weekly session limit in one 5-hour window, 4-hour window. And then another thing, since it's still, I think it's research preview or beta or whatever, it's not yet super optimized. And it's still buggy a little bit, because what I noticed sometimes is that even if you pick specific sections or elements and you tell him to change this, sometimes he ends up changing other stuff also, just randomly. And then you see it like 20 minutes later. It's like, wait, why is this different now? Because you were already down the page, like, okay, section 1 gone, section 2 done, section 3 done. And then you change something, you read out the page or something, and then you go back up and you're like, huh, why is there a button now? Or why is the timer gone or whatever? And then what also happens sometimes is that he just randomly changed the font settings. So I edited the fonts myself to, for example, the text, the normal text to 16 pixels. 5 minutes later, I see the text is now 1 pixel. You cannot even see it. So first I thought, he deleted the text box, but it was just 1 pixel, so you couldn't see it. But if you hover over it, you could actually see the text box is still there. So there is still some bugs, but I mean, the product is early. And honestly, for being that early, it is still very awesome, still very useful. If they fix the the session limits, and then just keep on working on the product, I think it's pretty nice. Like, especially if you want to build a website. I actually have some thoughts on the whole like landing page workflow, because I think it might actually not make sense to use this route for landing pages, because you want to be, so what's the difference between a landing page and website? Maybe it's only for me, but I think there's a lot of people that would agree when it comes to like marketing stuff. I'm sorry if we still keep yapping here. We want to call end the call already. But so a website is something that you create mostly once, and then it's there for years, and maybe you do some updates from time to time. Let's say you do an update every other month or 2-3 times a year. But with landing pages, they are usually campaign specific, time limited, product specific, whatever. So you want to be able to do changes or A/B tests quickly.
Yeah.
And doing this with Cloud Code and basically handwritten page, like the code is just there and you can't touch it. I myself cannot touch it. So Cloud Design is the only way for me where I can do changes in the design. But once the page is live, I would have to ask Cloud Code all the time, like, can you change this? Can we do a split test? Can we do this? But I think actually it would be just faster if you have a way of doing some minor changes yourself. And I will explore now what are the best options to work with Cloud Code. And there might be an MCP or something to Framer, so that you can basically build landing pages in Framer.
Yeah.
And then once you have the page, you can just duplicate it and then do some changes on your own, because you have an actual front end where you can do some changes. So that might be the actual meta workflow that I'm going to change into.
Or you wait 1 or 2 months and Cloud Design got it. Because that is the next logical evolution of the product, right? Like they should be Framer on steroids. So, and what's missing to get there? Live hosting, right? So your page is basically live, and you can just click a button and it opens a new tab in Cloud Design of the live page, and Cloud Design has access to the code base that is deployed already in live. And Cloud Design can basically do Cloud Code's work, so they're working together in one interface. And Cloud Design makes the changes that you just did on the page. You click a button, you click publish, and they send a pull request to GitHub, and it's live. You know what I mean? So it's literally Framer on steroids, because like super AI intuitive. I think that's where the product should go, and I believe that's where the product will go. Because what else? That's the missing link right now. It feels very clunky because it's in beta. The process, hand off to Cloud Code, and then the page is like stale on Cloud Design. And, you know, like, and then you're stuck in your Cloud Code, and you need to do exactly what you just said. Always do these screenshot iterations and shit, right? So I think the way I perceive Anthropic by now is that they will have the next version of Cloud Design in the next 2 months.
And then also, actually, when you hand it off to Cloud Code, he doesn't nail it. It's 80% similar. You have to really bother him, like, check it again, check this again, check that again, until he finally gets it. Because I don't know why, but when you hand it over to him, the first version looked really different, like really different.
Okay.
So I said again, please, here's a prompt again from Cloud Design. Check it again. I want it one-on-one. I want it exactly the same, you know, not any changes that you think are good. Because sometimes he's like, oh, maybe I changed this because it might be better. But then still, and I had to go back and forth a lot of times because he changed some of the spacings that were weird. He changed some of the font sizes. He forgot some features. For example, there is this scrolling animation when you go down with the progress bar.
Yeah,
he completely forgot about that. It was gone. It was just not there. So yeah, it is not yet optimized, but it's also complaining on a very high level because it's actually a nice product. Like, kudos to them. They did a good job. If they go into this direction that you just said, then for sure I don't have to do it. But if they don't, then I would find a different work.
I see. Okay.
Or maybe you could design it in Cloud Code, Cloud Design, and then take this design to Framer, for example, build it there with Cloud Code. I don't know, and then just do the front end changes yourself.
I mean, that's for now the way. Yeah, for now.
Yeah,
let's see how the product evolves. But yeah, a little bit of AI process alpha for all of you guys out there that are also tinkering or want to stay updated with the recent tech. That is also something you can learn at Solid Talks, because we're explaining how we do things, and sometimes we even build in public, as Pierre did. Now, ladies and gents, if you haven't claimed your NFT yet, last chance. Now, this is Solid Talk number 89 NFT. Where is it? Why isn't it showing? Here you go. This is Solid Talk number 89 NFT. If you have not claimed your Solid Talk NFT, then do it now. This is the last chance. Talk to us already, and the secret code is Solid today. If you've done that, you'll receive the participation NFT as a little gesture of appreciation into your wallet very soon. And with that being said, we will call it a day for now. Thanks for joining yet another Solid Talk. I hope you had a blast and you had a good time listening to our yapping over here. I haven't seen the amount of comments I would love to see for Comment Yourself Solid. I haven't seen I think it's going to be difficult to pick a winner today. Because for if you're really commenting yourself solid, you need to actively talk to us. I see now, okay, there's a few comments that I haven't seen from earlier. Oh, Janis, by the way, GM, my friend, raining in Greece. I haven't seen that comment before. Sometimes StreamYard messes it up. Let's do it that way, guys. Let's do it that way. We're gonna have a larger comment yourself solid pool next week. So we're just gonna that's you know, it's my my executive decision for today. We're gonna move the Solid Talk prize pool from today for Comment Yourself Solid to next week. So you gotta show up next week again to get the big prize pool, the bigger prize pool, and you have to really comment yourself solid next week and be much more active even in the comment section to make it easier for us to pick someone. But I do want to at least shout out an appreciation to everyone who's in here and has been active. I see Altessa has definitely talked a lot here now as well. I see your comments now. I also see Darius, who's definitely in the house talking to us. As always, we appreciate Hector, who's been also active in the comment section with us as well. So thanks for chiming in here and there. And obviously shout out to JD Sol as well for being here every single week from the start to the finish. Appreciate you, brother. But for Comment Yourself Solid, we're going to try in different route next week again with a prize pool that we're going to take from today to next week. I think that's the best way to do it. Thank you so much for joining today. I hope you have a blessed weekend. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Have a good Sunday, and we will see you again for Solid Talk number 90 next week, Saturday, same space, same time. Until then, stay solid, get solid, and peace out, everyone.
Peace out.